continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They will start this drive with Ford. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Passing play, Flacco. Over the middle, complete to Judy. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Flacco. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. They run with Ford. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Here's Flacco. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at the 20. First carry for Josh Jacobs. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Love. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 32 on the play.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Love now. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw now. Here's Love. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Flacco. That's going to be caught by Judy. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Flacco from the gun. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
On play action. Love to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Throwing. Love. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Now it's Flacco. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Flacco. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They go pass again with Flacco. Open man, he completes it to Judy. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. Flacco. This is caught. It's Woods. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 16. 23 yards the pickup there.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And they'll bring Judy in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he used his quickness to make a play.
Here's Flacco. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Well, following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Reed wrestling ahead. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Three 0 after one on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get three as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out, and they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To pass, Flacco. Out quickly to Judy. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Love. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Play action this time with Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Two yards to go, second down. Love looking to throw it. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 14. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's complete right around the 8. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Looking to throw. Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
Jacobs again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers have taken the lead.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Browns set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Again, they turn to Ford. Shoves him aside. Fights through, and now a crease. And again, the footwork. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him. Feet were moving. The legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his offseason working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A break from the ground game here. Flacco. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
The Browns on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Flacco looks to throw. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. From the gun, Flacco. To the right side, that's where Tillman is. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Now Flacco. Caught by Woods. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Here's Flacco. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have regained the lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That's taken in by Kraft. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 36 yards out. The kick by McManus is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
So still a little bit of time following the made field goal, but we are tied as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. Love now. A short throw to Musgrave. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Passing play. Flacco. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the...
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
The handoff to Ford up the middle, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Flacco. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Throwing. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd.
Nowadays, at that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up, a lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that 3rd down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the 1st down.
To throw now. Here's Love. Completed out left to Dobbs. Now a 2nd and 2. Love, they go play action now. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. So nothing doing there, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play,
and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
Now Flacco. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Flacco. He's got a man, complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 40 yards.
At this point on the field, a lot of play callers have a little trepidation. They're just thinking about running off tackle, quarterback sneaks, anything to try and create a little bit of room. But those aggressive play callers, they think to themselves, this is the right place to take a shot. And they do, and boy, are they successful.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Here's Flacco. A throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Flacco will take to the air again. That is caught, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 4. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a 1st down on that last catch as well.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
To pass, Flacco. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And he is out of bounds here. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A little too much air under that one. That could have easily been 6 points.
Yeah, what kind of speed he has is almost impossible, we think, to actually overthrow him. But he did exactly that. I think he probably tried to get it out there maybe just a little bit too quickly.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Love from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd. Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him throw that challenge flag.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Love looking to throw it. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. Play fake. Here's Love. shrugs him off. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Ford. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
This is Ford. Oh, he shifts past him. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. This to make it a 2-score game. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. To pass, here's Jordan Love.
That's complete to Dobbs.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On play action. Love to throw. That's to the tight end, Musgrave.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
That's Ronnie Hickman who is there for the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
That's to Kraft, the tight end.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing pass.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Browns are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
They will start this drive with Ford, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Flacco looks to throw.
Gets this over the middle to Tillman.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Operating off play action, Flacco. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at the 41-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Love. Right side to Watson. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Here's a handoff to Jacobs.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. The job one to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the first down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Maurice Hurst able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6.
He will have the first down and a bit more.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love.
That's hauled in by Musgrave for the Packer touchdown.
A 1-yard touchdown pass.
And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Setting to throw, Flacco. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10.
So here's Love and the Packers.
Down by 2, a minute 40 remaining. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on first down.
Love looking to throw it.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll come up now on second down. Here's Love.
Incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
A big play needed, no doubt. Third and long. Love.
He's going to let it fly.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Ronnie Hickman with a pick.
And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. To a knee goes Flacco, and that should be it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.